One of my favorite things to do is to tie knots. But like most people, I don't always learn them very easily. Someone will show me a knot and I'll need to see it 100 times before I can do it on my own. That is, unless there's a catchy, fun, simple mnemonic to help me. Since I'm on Everest for the next few weeks, I figured I could teach you 5 of the most useful knots with an easy mnemonic that will help you remember them quickly. So grab yourself a piece of rope, a piece of string, a shoelace, some floss, or heck, even a piece of cooked spaghetti will do the trick. And let's get started.
All right, so got some rope here. And the first one we're gonna talk about is the figure 8, also known as the Flemish knot. My mother's Flemish, so I gotta say that. Basically, a figure 8, you're gonna use in a lot of situations. If you've ever gone rock climbing, you need to know how to do a figure 8. It's a pretty secure knot, often used in climbing. So it's a really fun one to remember too. The mnemonic goes like this. This is Charlie, give him a scarf, poke him in the face. Now what do I mean by that? Let's do a demonstration, and I'll do a slower version of this as well. If I can get this undone. All right, this is Charlie. Give him a scarf, so wrap it around him, and then poke him in the face. And there is your figure 8. Simple as that. This is Charlie. Give him a scarf. Poke him in the face. Now this can serve as a stopper if you want, but typically what you'll do is you'll give yourself quite a lot of slack here. Do that thing. Here's Charlie, give him a scarf, poke him in the face, and then what you'll do is you'll take this loop, guide it through your harness, your belay loop, whatever you guys have going on, and then you'll feed this end back through the figure 8. And what you'll get is basically a figure 8 on a bite. So you can do a figure 8 on a bite as well if instead of just saying, this is Charlie, grab a bite, this is what we call a bite, and do the same thing. So we double the rope. This is Charlie, give him a scarf, and then poke him in the face. And there you go. You have a figure 8 with a bite. And this you can clip in to a beaner or wrap it around something, whatever. What you do want to do though is make sure that it's well dressed. We're not going to go into that right now, but you want it to look nice. It's oftentimes that when you do this knot, this can be kind of a mess. Things are over each other in the wrong way. That's not very nice. So you want to make sure it's well dressed, but as long as you got the basic mnemonic about Charlie and a scarf poking him in the face, you're good to go.
All right, let me pause the video just for a moment to talk about the sponsor that is able to make this video possible, and that is Atlas VPN. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Since we're talking about knots, your life could very well get into a really complicated knot if you don't have some way of protecting yourself online and making the stuff that you look and access on the web secure as possible. On top of that, Atlas VPN has a great discount going on right now, so check out the link in the description. Now, if you're not using a VPN in this day and age, you are out of your mind. Atlas VPN encrypts all of your data and is a great help for real life everyday situations. For example, accessing geo-blocked libraries on streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO Max, and more to avoid censorship when traveling abroad, and in general, just to increase your security on public internet connections. A great example of using a VPN is when I'm trying to watch one of my favorite shows, which is Top Gear. It's only available in UK on Netflix. I live in the US, so I use my VPN just like this to get access to the library available on Netflix UK, and voila, I can now watch my favorite show. Currently, Atlas VPN has a great promotion going on. They're offering their services for 3 years, $139 a month for those 3 years. You're saving over 86% on the whole cost of having a VPN, which you need anyway, to be honest. And on top of that, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like the services, doesn't make sense for you, then you can get your money back. The deal won't last for long, so please make sure to click the link in the description below. Now back to learning about knots.
It's getting hot. It was so overcast just a moment ago. All right, our next knot is called the square knot or the reef knot. Now, you may kind of know this already. It's not quite a reef knot, but what you've been taught to tie your shoes. It's actually an overhand knot, but it's a slight variation on the square knot. Now get this, We all hate tying our shoes. We always double knot our shoes because they come undone. What a crappy knot, right? Well, that's because the overhand you're doing is wrong. If you do the overhand the other way, you've got yourself a reef knot, and actually it stays a lot more secure. It's not the most secure knot in the world, but it'll stay more secure if you do the reef knot instead of the overhand knot. I'll show you what I mean with shoelaces in just a moment. So this knot isn't super reliable, as I said before, but it's good for quick little things like tying your shoes, tying strings or a little bow on your gift wrapping, also tying sail covers, tent flies, things like that are super quick, and that secure and safety isn't like of the utmost importance, just something quick and reliable. It's a good knot for tying two ends of a rope or two separate ropes together. So think of your shoelaces, you're putting them together. If you have two ends of a rope and you want them to get together, this is a good one. This is how it goes. Here's the mnemonic. Right over left, left over right makes a reef knot, both tighty and tight. So you take your right one, put it over the left, and now you have these two ends, and then the left goes over the right and through, and voila. This is what a reef knot looks like. And you can tell you've done it right because it looks tidy and tight. And it's pretty good. The more you pull on it, the more tightened it gets. Right over left, left over right makes a reef knot that's tidy and tight. All right, this one's great. This one's called the Alpine butterfly, and this is used a lot in mountaineering when you got a rope and you want to kind of connect into the middle of the rope. So what do? Well, it's a butterfly knot. So what we're gonna think about is a butterfly. That's our mnemonic. And you can imagine the pathway of this butterfly goes across your hand towards your thumb, and then goes wrapping around the front of your fingertips and guides back to where your thumb was. So you'll have this little bit across your fingertips and then this kind of X shape in the middle of your palm. And what you'll do is you'll guide this loop, think of the butterfly wing, underneath and up through. Holy sh**. That's a big avalanche in the ice fall, wow. But anyways, here is your butterfly knot. You've taken a section of rope that might be tied to two ends, and you've basically made a little loop in the middle of it. Pretty secure, won't budge much, and like I said, it's great for clipping in the middle of a section of a rope. So you're just guiding that butterfly around. So you lay it on your palm, guide it towards your thumb, wrap it around the fingertips at the top, have it cross over, and you can have it lay on your thumb there and you make this cross, and then loop it under, pull it through, and there, and then just pull on each end, and you got your secure butterfly knot.
Yes! That's awesome!
All right, our next knot is the Bowline. Now this is used a lot in sailing. It's a really good knot to tie around something like a mooring or tent fly even. Pretty secure under load, it won't budge much, but when there's no load, it's easy to undo. So the mnemonic goes like this.
The rabbit comes out of the hole, goes around the tree, and back down into the hole.
So you have your hanging end of your rope here, make a hole, okay? Have the rabbit comes up through the hole, around the tree, and then back down into the hole. And make sure to keep a little loop at the end here, tighten it, and that's your Bowline.
So the rope that you're holding in your left hand is the tree, and you're gonna make a loop that sits on top of the tree, that's the hole. Then the rabbit goes up through the hole, the tail end is the rabbit, goes around that tree, and then back down into the hole, or back through the loop that it came from. Then pull it tight.
All right, this last one is called a Clove hitch, and this is a nice little thing to attach to a stationary object as well. Basically how it goes, let's imagine you have some kind of pole. This is my ice axe, but the way it works, the mnemonic is loop right around the pole, loop left around the pole, and then up through the hole, and then tighten it.
All right, so you loop right around the pole, then loop left around the pole on top of that other loop you just did, and then up through the hole, right in between both of them, and then pull it tight.
And there is your Clove hitch. Now it's pretty secure. It will come undone if you pull a little too much on it, but for a quick little hitch, something you want to attach to a stationary object, this is great. Now another version of this is a little more fun to remember the mnemonic for, is if say you have like a beaner or something that you want to take this hitch and attach it to. It's one thing if you have the stationary pole in front of you, you can wrap around it. But what if you just want, let's say in the middle of a rope, to do that? No problem. So the mnemonic goes, Mickey ears in the back, so fold it so that it's in the back, Mickey ears in the front, and then put the first ear over the first, and then there's your loop. Put your carabiner or whatever you're trying to attach it to. Oops, and there you go. There's your Clove hitch on a beaner. Nice. Mickey ears in the back, Mickey ears in the front, put the front ear over the second ear, pull tight. All right guys, that's it for this video. Short and sweet, hopefully something useful, and I don't know, maybe there's some mnemonics you've never heard of for those knots. With a bit of practice, you'll have them down pat. Obviously, you don't want to be always saying the mnemonic when you do it, but it's a good way to learn it, as is everything. Mnemonics help you get things into your brain, and then once you practice it, make it muscle memory, it's in there. You don't need to use a mnemonic. That's it, I'm exhausted. Just tying some knots here at 17,500 feet. I'm gonna go back to camp and lay down. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you in the next video. Please like, share, subscribe, all those things. Take it easy. I'm out.